Capcom cannot be stopped. They are on a roll unlike any publisher we have ever seen in so long. They continuously drop banger after banger after banger, reveal new game after new game after new game, and man, did this new one get me excited. Resident Evil Veronica, the remake of Resident Evil Code Veronica, has been announced at Summer Games Fest. We have some information. I have some things I want to say, and I just want to talk about Capcom more because I love Capcom. They are my favorite publisher. They are my favorite company. They are just my favorite thing in gaming, period. Resident Evil is one of my favorite franchises of all time. Survival horror is my favorite genre right now. Man, there's so much excitement for this. I can't believe it. I can't wait to talk about it. Let's do it. Welcome back to Play Away, Johnnymmer here, and today I get the privilege and the excitement of talking about Resident Evil Veronica. Like I said, the remake that was just announced at Summer Games Fest of Resident Evil Code Veronica, released in 2000. Man, this is exciting. Number one, there's so much to talk about when it comes to just Capcom and the absolute streak that they have been on since like 2019, maybe even 2017 if you want to go that far back. And just the comeback that they've had over the last decade. It's been pretty amazing. We're hopping hot off of Summer Games Fest, where it was a great show and there were so many fun things announced, and there's so many videos we have coming out here soon within the next few weeks, not just about Summer Games Fest, but also the State of Play. That was great. The Xbox Game Showcase, that's about to happen tomorrow. Hopefully that's great. It will be. And so yeah, maybe even a Nintendo Direct. There's so much excitement right now. There's so many gaming things to talk about. There's so many reasons to love gaming and just be happy and be excited. And that's why we have this channel, to just talk about games. So you can play the things you want to, regardless of the genre or platform you want to, company you support, no matter what it is. We just love gaming, and that's why we're here. Appreciate all the support you guys give on the channel, especially this video right here. If you could, leave a like, comment on what your hype levels for Resident Evil Veronica are. Give me some theories. I'd love to talk about it. And please subscribe, share with your friends. We appreciate all support. Without further ado, man, let's go. Resident Evil is one of my favorite franchises of all time. Survival horror is one of my favorite genres right now, if not my favorite, and Capcom is my favorite publisher. You mix all that, well, here it is. Resident Evil Veronica is here. Man, I'm just gonna put up this picture real quick. Come on, that key art goes so hard. The detail on Claire's like render right there, that's insane. This picture goes hard as well. Man, this is an interesting one. I'll just kind of give you my thoughts here real quick. This is unfortunately, a reaction to a trailer I do not like, because I kind of looked stupid. As Capcom being my favorite company, and as Resident Evil being one of my favorites, and survival horror being one of my favorites, you would think I would immediately have jumped on, oh my god, here it is, the next Resident Evil. I'd start freaking out. Unfortunately, the whole trailer and presentation for this thing confused me. I just didn't know what I was looking at the whole time, because I unfortunately have never played Veronica, Code Veronica, the original, so I don't really know anything about it outside of Claire Redfield. And so the trailer starts and it opens up in France, and I'm like, what kind of horror game takes place in France? Like, I've never knew that Resident Evil went to France, and so I immediately didn't think it was Resident Evil. Then we start seeing this trailer, and like, no shade to the past Resident Evils, but dude, the graphics and the visual fidelity during this trailer, I'm telling you right now, this is going to be the best looking Resident Evil game to date. It looks stunning. It looks absolutely incredible, and it's because the Resident Evil 3 team is working on this one. And regardless if you love or hate Resident Evil 3, I personally love it. It is one of, if not the best looking Resident Evil game in the series so far, and I'm talking about the remake here. And so I see this and I'm like, dude, I don't know if this is Resident Evil. Like, it does look like it. Like, you're right, the old lady character, she looks like a Resident Evil character. The vibe that this trailer is going for, it feels like Resident Evil. I just don't believe it is. I don't want to believe it. And the trailer continues to go on and on and on. And Axew, obviously the other guy on the channel here, he was pretty dead set that it was Resident Evil, and he ended up being right. And so it ended up finally Claire Redfield showed, and man, I was just lost for words. I'm like, no way, Capcom. Not even 6 months after releasing Resident Evil 9, which has been the fastest selling Resident Evil game in the series, which has been one of the highest rated in the series, which has just been one of the best games of 2027. Not even 6 months after that, we're already getting the announcement of the next Resident Evil game. Number one, that tells you the power and the quality and the excitement behind Resident Evil, but it just tells you where Capcom is as a publisher, and that is so exciting. The fact that I can be a fan of something like this and just get constant excitement and constant content behind these things, man, I'm happy. I'm happy. I cannot wait to talk more about this game because it looks sick. So I do have a bunch of details that we're going to be going over. I have a bunch of bullet points I'm going to be reading through, and so let's go ahead and let's get started. I'm just going to go down these bullet points, and then we can break them down individually. First one, remake of the 2000 original Resident Evil Code Veronica. Carefully preserves the experience of the original. Features modern gameplay, presents a newly restructured story, showcases state-of-the-art graphics, offers an intense intertwining of madness and intrigue, love and hate. Reimagined as a brand new survival horror experience. Releases 2027, and it is releasing on every platform simultaneously. I do have a little more information we're going to go over real quick. The story will follow Claire Redfield in her search for her brother Chris Redfield after the events of Raccoon City. Capcom aims to preserve the essence of the experience of the original game. The plot is being rebuilt and adapted, incorporating gameplay elements from the most recent entries in the saga. It will bet on a return to the roots of survival horror with a story marked by madness, love, and hate. Yeah, so as somebody who doesn't know anything about Code Veronica, I've never really played it, and I've never really looked into it. Obviously, I know you play as Claire Redfield, but from what I've heard, you also do play as Chris Redfield a lot in this game, and so we didn't see him in this trailer at all, so I'm curious if they are just fully shifting to Claire, or if they just haven't shown Chris. My guess is they just haven't showed Chris yet, but nonetheless, I love what I'm hearing here. They are taking everything they've learned from the past few entries, being the remakes and 7, 8, 9, and they're going to be incorporating it into this, fan favorite game. I mean, that's why they're even remaking this game, because it's a fan favorite. People love this game, and I can't wait to experience that for myself. They're featuring modern gameplay, presenting a newly restructured story. Now, that's where it questions me. Presenting a newly restructured story. What does that mean? Does that mean we are completely reworking content in the game, how the story paces out, the chapters, what are we doing, story beats, are we switching that up, or are we just taking all of Chris's parts in there and adding more Claire? What are we doing? I'm very interested to see how they do it. And then also, it says right here in this bullet point, reimagined as a brand new survival horror experience. One thing that I was not expecting while watching this trailer is genuinely how scary and how horror this game looks. This truly looks like they are fully embraced. Like, this looks like Resident Evil 7, Grace's scenes. This looks like a lot of Grace scenes from Resident Evil 9. It looks very, very horror-centric, so maybe, I don't know exactly if Code Veronica, the original, was super-duper horror-based as well, with action in it, but if it is that amount of horror, I am all for it, because I love that. And I love when Resident Evil embraces that. And so, like, just when she's looking through the little door hole, whatever you call that, I forget what you call that in real life. Man, that is a terrifying, intense scene. And I love that. Just listening to this old lady talk is like, her performance is just so eerie and just kind of leaves you uncomfortable a little bit, but then you start seeing all these different visuals at the end of the trailer. You see like the forest, you see the mansion, you see the island, you see you see all these different things, and then you look at Claire Redfield's render, and you're just like, man, this game just looks so cool. I cannot wait to play this. I am so excited. I wish I could say more about this game, but like I said, I don't know history with Code Veronica, unfortunately. But there is another part of this video that I do want to talk about, and I've said it already before, but talk about Capcom. Talk about Resident Evil as a franchise, and just the awesome story, and why it is so just, like, we are living in a moment that is never going to be able to be replicated, really, where a company is just so, honestly, in their prime. I know that might be crazy to say, but, like, it truly feels like they are in their prime. You don't get a game like Resident Evil 9 and Monster Hunter Stories 2, Onimusha on the way, Pragmata, and announced Code Veronica all in the same year, Mega Man on the way. man, like, it is just insane what Capcom is doing. But I found this, or I saw this tweet on X by Anish Munka on Twitter. Sorry if I mispronounced his name, but he has this, like, he just wrote out this whole thing, and I just want to kind of read it and just give you my thoughts on it, because I just love. He just breaks it down perfectly on why Capcom is in such a high level and why Resident Evil is so big. So I kind of just want to talk about that real quick. So here it is from Anish Munka on X. A remake of a 1998 video game is now the second best-selling Resident Evil ever made. It has sold 18 million copies. Only one game in the whole 30-year series sold more. Today, Capcom announced that they are pulling the same move again. The new game, Resident Evil Veronica, is a full rebuild of Code Veronica, a horror game from 2000. It first came out on the Sega Dreamcast, a console that flopped and got shut down a year later. Back then, it sold about 1 million copies, then mostly vanished. The remake arrives in 2027 on PS5, Xbox, Steam, and the Switch 2, machines that hundreds of millions of people own. Capcom keeps reaching into its past for a simple reason. Old games are where the money is. In the year ending March 2026, Capcom sold 59 million games and made its biggest profit ever for the 9th year in a row, and 83.7% of those sales came from games that had already been out for years. The new releases were a small slice on top. Old games quietly pay the bills. By now, it is almost a routine. After the Resident Evil 2 rebuild, Capcom remade Resident Evil 3 in 2020 and Resident Evil 4 in 2023, which has sold over 13 million on its own. A remake of Resident Evil 0 is reportedly next in 2028. Each one costs far less to build than a brand new game, and it sells to old fans and to kids who never owned the original. These games also refuse to die. Resident Evil 7 came out in 2017 and still sold 2.6 million copies last year alone. The whole series just crossed 201 million copies sold. So when Capcom reaches 25 years back for a game that barely sold the first time, it is making one of the safest bets in gaming. Wow. Talk about Capcom, talk about Resident Evil, and talk about being excited for Code Veronica, for Veronica. I think it is absolutely insane if you go back maybe even just 8 years, 9 years, to see where Capcom was. Genuinely worried about going bankrupt, worried about being one of the worst publishers in the game, to instantly, not instantly, incredibly turning that company around and just making it what it is today. We have gotten to see all these iconic Capcom franchises not only come back, but have some of their best entries and titles yet. We're seeing new IPs like Pragmata break boundaries and be new and unique and refreshing and still be a success. We have Resident Evil games coming out almost every single year and being a success. We have Monster Hunter being one of the biggest franchises in gaming right now in terms of player count and content. There's so much to be excited for. And it's just crazy to me that they are now at a place where they can take a game like Code Veronica that is a cult classic that only sold roughly about 1 million copies when it originally came out. And it's about to come out in 2027, and it is about to destroy its original release. And it's because of what Capcom has been able to build within the Resident Evil franchise and what Capcom has been able to produce in terms of reputation and credibility when it comes to their games. It really is such a treat to just watch how this company works and how they understand the gaming industry. They don't need to put all their chips into one massive open world game. No, we give people what they want. The IP that they love, remakes that they want, not just random stupid remakes of games that came out 5-6 years ago. No, remakes that people actually want, remakes that will actually be worthwhile. We make new games, produce new ideas. Hey, you love our Resident Evil games with third person and first person? Well, guess what? Here's a brand new game where we are bringing back a lot of fan favorite stuff, but we are making it different than all the other ones because we're putting in first person and we're doing third person. We're making it action and horror focused. All these things. Hey, you love all our games? Here's a new game like Pragmata. We're going to add in a whole new thing you've never even seen in a game before. Devil May Cry 5 was one of, if not the best received game in the whole series. People are desperate for a new Devil May Cry, and with rumors of a 1 remake and possibly 6 on the way, Mega Man just got a new trailer. Okami 2, one of the most cult classic, like, highly praised Capcom game in its whole history, is getting a sequel. This is absolutely insane with the level at which Capcom is doing. They're selling incredibly well. They're reviewing incredibly well. It's just absolutely a joy to be a fan of Capcom, and a joy to be in a time in 2026 where so many companies around the entire industry are failing at what gaming's #1 priority should be: making great games, making a variety of great games, consistently and consistent in quality. Capcom is at the top of its game. Dare I say, it is in its prime, and I cannot wait to see where Capcom goes from here, because if Veronica is any hint at where the future of Capcom is going, we are in for a special, special time with Capcom, and I cannot wait. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, definitely leave a like, leave a comment, section down below provided, and please subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Johnnymmer out. Peace.